This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
Hi, I'm Steve Irvin with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. Phoenix police releasing edited body camera footage showing the gas station shootout that launched a 3-day manhunt for suspect Nicholas Cody Cowan. The video is graphic, and we're choosing not to show you some of the more intense moments.
Hey, come up. He's right here. Come out of the...
You can see the man later identified as Cowan pulling up to the gas station in that blue car before shooting and injuring an officer. And in an instant, her partner is taking cover behind a car and firing back. More arrests made in that shooting. Phoenix police say they have arrested both 35-year-old Carolyn Coster and 41-year-old Michael Hankins. Both are accused of helping Nicholas Cowan evade police. Another woman was also arrested earlier this month for helping him. Clemency denied for Clarence Dixon, the man who murdered an Arizona State University student more than 40 years ago. The Arizona Board of Executive Clemency denying both reprieve and commutation, meaning pending any appeals. Dixon is scheduled to be executed May 11th in the state's first execution since a botched attempt 8 years ago. That forced the state to pause the practice entirely. Dixon's legal team saying he is mentally ill and has several health issues and disabilities, including blindness, adding had the Maricopa County Attorney's Office committed Dixon to a mental hospital 48 hours before Bowden's murder, things would have been different.
This would have never happened. Ms. Bowden would still be with us if the County Attorney's Office had obeyed Judge O'Connor's order back in 1978.
Prosecutors claim, or continue to claim, Dixon is coherent and aware of what he chose to do, both when he was committing crimes and when he chose to represent himself and waive representation at trial. Dina Bowden's sister also speaking out, recounting how difficult this has been for her family. Board members ultimately saying they heard and saw sufficient evidence for the execution to move forward. In Scottsdale, fire officials trying to figure out what caused an apartment fire this morning. This happened near Scottsdale and Shea. Scottsdale and Phoenix fire departments both rushing to the fire just before 8 o'clock. Officials say the fire damaged 2 units. Luckily, nobody was hurt. The advertisements are everywhere, and in just months, sports gambling has exploded across our state. And while the majority of bettors are betting in moderation, legalization has also led to problem gambling and serious addiction, with calls to the state's problem gambling helpline tripling and texts doubling. Experts say the people actually reaching out for help only represent a fraction of those struggling to control their addiction.
What may have been and is for most people a very fun, entertaining activity has suddenly taken a dark turn.
It ruins relationships, it ruins lives, and it ruins our bank accounts.
Tonight on ABC 15 News at 10, we take a deep dive to see if the state is doing enough to keep people from life-altering losses and what you can watch out for to avoid addiction. President Biden says he is considering canceling some student loan debt, but not as much as many students and advocates hope. Well, he said he was working at broader student loan forgiveness. Forgiving $50,000 in loans per borrower is just not in the cards.
I am considering dealing with some debt reduction. I am not considering $50,000 debt reduction, but I'm in the process of taking a hard look at whether or not there will be additional debt forgiveness, and I'll have an answer on that in the next couple of weeks.
The president promised back in 2020 to forgive up to $10,000 of debt universally, but has yet to act on that. A year ago, at Biden's request, the Department of Education researched the legality of debt cancellation by the president. Those findings have not been released publicly. Right now, Americans owe an estimated $1.7 trillion in student loans, roughly twice what the U.S. spent on its military last year.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens with a look at your forecast tomorrow as we stick to the 90s. Now, we do look to drop a few degrees, but temperatures will end up in the low 90s across most of the valley tomorrow afternoon. Phoenix hitting 91 around 4 p.m. And high pollution advisories will kick in across the Phoenix metro area as ozone pollution builds up. This is mainly due to the lighter winds out there tomorrow that will allow that pollution to build up throughout the day. So an advisory for tomorrow, watches that could be upgraded to advisory boundaries as we get closer for Saturday and for Monday. We get a little of a break on Sunday because we expect more breezes to help mix the air around throughout the day. Here's a look at the next 7 days. And again, those breezes in the Sunday forecast, windy conditions up north, and we'll do that again on Tuesday. So those are the days to watch out for increased fire danger across our state. Temperatures are going to stay in the 90s here for the next 7 days. We're going to max out in the mid-90s, it looks like, through the weekend and early next week. And overnight lows will be in the 60s across the Phoenix metro area.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, head to ABC15.com or download the free ABC15 mobile app.
This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.